Everyone, welcome back to Pine Hollow Auto Diagnostics. We're at a local shop here on the mountain, and we have a 2009 Ford F150 with over 200,000 miles on it. Customer complaint is it's not charging the battery. At first the battery light was on, then it was off. We came here, battery wasn't charging. As you can see, brand new aftermarket alternators is installed. Nothing changed. So let's scan it for codes. It's a computer controlled alternator. And to keep the battery topped up during testing, I set the Tornado 90,000 to 12.5 volts. So that'll be base battery voltage, and if the alternator kicks in, it should go up to 14 on its own, but I don't want it dropping below 12.5 just to keep the battery alive. Alright, so in the truck, did a full code scan, and 2 codes stored in the engine computer. P0625, generator field F terminal circuit low. Okay, so I recorded that. We can go into live data and look at the alternator command and the feedback. It's 2 wires going to the PCM, and then we'll do a little bit of research on the system on all data, see what is this generator field F terminal circuit supposed to be. You know, is there a broken wire? Is the computer driver maybe cooked, or is the aftermarket alternator bad? That's what we're here to find out. Okay, so I selected all of the generator data PIDs. So it says command line no error, 4% command, fault lamp is on, fault status no error. So if we close the door, I don't see a battery light anywhere. Generator monitor, and now it says error low, generator monitor line status 0%. So let's graph this, fire it up. So desired voltage 14.6 volts, monitor is 100%, error high, something weird's going on here. And command is only 4%. That's wild. And our battery voltage is only 12.6. If we rev it up, definitely not charging. Something really weird's going on. Let's first check before going fancy. Let's just unplug the control wires at the alternator, see if these data PIDs change at all. Now here we go. The control plug is off. Let's see what our data shows when we run the truck. So now it says error high all the time, 100% on the monitor. So the monitor line, I'm sure, is fine because it changed when we unplugged it. Now the command line, I don't know what's going on there. We could measure that with a scope. Let's look at wiring diagram and the description for that code. By the way, after unplugging the alternator, we did set another code, a P0620, generator control circuit. The 625 is for generator field F terminal circuit low. So these are 2 separate codes. Let's look these up and go from there. Alright, so first off, here's the OE diagram of the charging system. Generator, the PCM with 2 command wires. There's the fat red wire going to the battery through 2 fusible links. And then we have another wire, the red one, on the control plug. That is kind of the sense wire. It just comes right from the battery. Okay? So we have this Gen RC and Gen LI. Now, looking up the troubleshooting pinpoint tests for so there's a 620 and a 625. That's the generator control circuit, and the 625 is the generator field terminal circuit low. This is the one we had when everything was plugged in. So if we go to our troubleshooting tree, There's 620. And we can still read this description here. PCM monitors the generator output via the Gen Mon circuit. PCM uses the Gen Com circuit as command to command the generator to either increase or decrease the output. If the Gen Com circuit, generator control circuit, or the A-Sense circuit are open or shorted to ground, PCM will be unable to control the generator's output. When the engine rises above 2000 RPM, the generator will default to a steady voltage, approximately 13.5 volts. The PCM will send a request to the IC to eliminate the charging system warning indicator lamp. Okay, so that's interesting. If this whole thing is unplugged, if we get it up to 2000 RPM, will it go to 13.5 volts? Let's try that. Let me pull up some live data again. Alright, so we have battery voltage, RPM, and then all the generator PIDs. Desired is 14.5. So a generator command is going up to 60% right there. Obviously we're not charging. Let's raise it up to 2000 RPM. Nothing. This alternator is not putting out even when it's unplugged or disabled. Okay. So what I want to do now is put a scope on both these, on the command and the monitor line, and also check this sense wire with a bright test light. Let's do those first before hooking up the scope. Alrighty, so first check 4 amp test light to battery ground. First, the main positive lug on the alternator is good, and then this red sense wire right there, also perfect. So now we're going to focus on these 2 control wires right here. Let's probe them, put a scope on it, and see what the computer's doing. Alright, we've got the PICO scope out. 2 channels. The blue channel is on the middle wire, which is a blue and orange. The red channel is on the, looks like a violet wire. So I'm going to leave this unplugged from the alternator right now. Just turn the key on, start the truck, and see what the scope says versus the scan data. Okay, so let's first turn the key on. And I'll tell you right now, PCM is perfect because with the alternator unplugged, we have signals on both wires. So channel A is going to be our blue and orange wire. That's Gen Com. You can see it's a pulsed. I think this is doing a circuit integrity check from the PCM to the alternator. And then the second channel is the violet wire, Gen Mon, and it's at battery voltage. So let me save this as alternator unplugged, and then we'll plug it in and see what it does. Okay, so these are the waveforms with the alternator unplugged, and you can see the Gen command line was going up to 3.5 volts. Is that normal or is it not? I'm not sure. However, the frequency is correct, about 4%. We had little spikes, and the generator monitor is at 100% because it's at 12 volts right now. So I'm going to roll the scope, and Kevin's going to go ahead, Kevin, plug in the alternator, plug it in. Perfect. Okay, it's plugged in. Alright, so that's plugged in, key on. You can see our monitor dropped to 0, and our command is still at 4. But the command pulse is now going up to almost 10 volts. So I'm going to start the truck. Ready? Let's see what happens now. Now it's at 100%. And now it's doing these kind of blips. And on our scan tool, we can see the blips. It's putting out some frequency and then 0, error high, error high. The command should be 61%. So now it's starting to command the alternator. It's trying to get it to charge. Our battery voltage is not going up. So I'm going to shut it off and key back on. Start it up again. Back to that, key off. Alright, I think that's all the data that we need. Okay, so let's see what happened here at these points where when we change the variables. So the alternator is unplugged, key on. Alternator is plugged in, key on. You can see the command pulses, the pulse width didn't change, or the duty cycle, but the amplitude went up to about 9 or about 10 volts. Okay, that's one difference. And now this Gen Mon line went from 100% or high, and now the alternator is putting something out. And then it pulls it completely low right here. The pulses are still skinny here. Okay, this is when, and then when we started it, right there you can see where the voltage dropped. So the engine's running here. Then what happened? We had 4% command right there. We started the truck, and now the computer is trying to increase the alternator charging right here. See, the duty cycle is getting more and more, up to 60% it said on the scanner. And the next page, we get into this thing, these kind of pulse trains. It's really trying to turn on the alternator. The alternator is sending something back, and then it's high, and then it's low, and then something more. However, the battery voltage never went above 12.2 volts. So everything's working. The computer is doing what it should. The wiring is good. This aftermarket alternator is junk. Now, Kevin said he's never gotten a bad alternator from NAPA, right?
Not yet.
Maybe this will be the first one. So I'm going to recommend maybe go to Rock Auto and order either a Reman Denso. I've had some luck with Reman AC Delco alternators, or OEM Motorcraft, perhaps. I've seen some bad Motorcraft ones, Reman, right out of the box. So it's a real crapshoot these days. So a couple brands, the Denso and AC Delco, so far have not let me down in terms of alternators. So I'm going to recommend that. And once Kevin puts in hopefully a good alternator, this truck should be fixed. So we'll follow up later. But that's it for the diagnosis. We got some nice waveforms. I'll share these in the link below. Download PICO software. You can follow along. And that's it. So thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.